I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. God, it's so simple. All right. All right. Let's just let's just do that again. Son of a gun.
I came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all the sailors here are really hip. There isn't any cost of membership. All you gotta do is join our trip. Yeah, I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard this ship. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
Holy guacamole, people. I'm telling you, life is not this hard. It's just not this fucking hard. You know, if I could use some kind of excuse like, because I got high, because I got high, because I got high, it would be a lot more fun. But I don't have any of those excuses. I really don't. It's been, it's just been an afternoon. It has been an afternoon. How are you doing out there? Happy Sunday to all aboard the mystery ship. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to get a quick peek around the horn and make sure that I'm live everywhere I'm supposed to be live. Okay, we are. Gloria, thank you so much. And yes, life can be hard. You know, Artist 61, my favorite poster of all time. My favorite poster of all time is a picture of John Wayne. And his quote, his famous quote said, "Life is tough. It's even tougher if you're stupid. Don't be stupid." She says life can be hard. Yes, it can be. Great to see you guys over there, you champions. You champions. Gloria Paddock, Artist 61, Bad Zoot, Amethyst, Cat, Willie Fixit, Jayla 17, P Dancer, Peggy Dancer, all bringing the high heat. Bad Zoot even led the charge. Gloria Paddock comes roaring in her golden yellow Ninja-gini. Wonderful to see you. So glad you made it through the storm, Gloria. She sent me videos and pictures of, boy, there are some crazy people out there. Absolutely. So she sent me a live video link to this dude who is down by the ocean side, literally, and in the 20 minutes, 25 minutes I watched this guy, he's out at the ocean with his camera pointed, and you can see the waves and the wind coming in, and it's splashing against this concrete berm that they had to hold the. And in the course of the 15, 20 minutes, it went from splashing to 12-foot waves with water cascading over the side, flooding everything in sight. Finally, the guy he goes, well, I'm in a four-wheel drive Toyota. He described how there's no way his car can stall. It can't short out. He's got all this fancy electronic equipment and one of those snorkel things so it breathes up high. He can drive in water 4 feet deep and all that stuff. But finally, he says, well, it might be time to get out of here. People in the chat are just going, get the hell out of there, man. Get the hell out of there. It was crazy. Just crazy. Thank you for sending me that, though, Gloria. It's the closest I'll ever be to being in an incoming hurricane. This is insane. Insane. Glad to see all you wonderful people over there. Val Kimber, Amethyst Cat, Bad Zoot, Peggy Dancer, Spudley. Wonderful to see you, Spudley. Your name is going to come up here in just a minute. Will he fix it? Oh, yes. Yes, yes. How fantastic. We are live and killing it. Sheeple beware. Live and killing it over at D-Live, home of half the champions, Black Cat 5. What are you doing, little lady? Good to see you. So wonderful to see you. So freaking wonderful to see you. Let's get over to a little channel I know called Brother Zoe. That is a YouTube channel, and let's see what kind of souls are hanging out there. We've got soul. Lord, we got soul. Lone Uke in the house. Moon Bunny. Great to see you, little lady. Phil Brad, how are you doing, my friend? Hope everything is good in your world. Thank you guys for holding down the fort over at YouTube. It is a pleasure to have you aboard. We are also live at Rumble. Rumble is rumbling, and I'm happy to see that. Maddie F&B in the house. Good to see you, buddy. John Otter is with us. There are more bodies than that. There are plenty of lurkers lurking, and I'm glad you're lurking. Glad you're lurking. I'm going to put the call-in number down there. Don't call in yet. Don't call in yet. I'm just putting it there so you have it on your screen, okay? Call in when I tell you to. There we go. It's on its way. It's on its way. Let's stop in and see the fine people at Pilled Foxhole. There's no shortage of them over there. 3 beer men have made the journey over to the mystery ship. Thank you for sending them on over, 3 beer men. Greatly appreciate you boys. More than you'll ever know. To date, I remain the only man, and woman for that matter, to have met all 3 beer men. I know beer men who haven't even met each other yet. So there you have it. Oh, that grog is going down good. That grog is going down so good. So good tonight. Wait, I got to look at something. Real fast. I knew it. Due diligence, dang it. I was going to come and bomb your show today, and I mean bomb your show. And I will. You're on Tuesday, thank goodness, so I will be bombing you Tuesday. But the day got away from me. I was up very, very early, and I spent way too much time on my foot. I had to run up to my daughter's house. She just returned from a week in Hawaii, and my grandson's birthday was last week, so I ordered his gifts. They came in, and of course he was in Hawaii when it all went down, so I had to go up and drop off his presents today. And in doing so, I did not wear my boot, and I walked way too much without my boot. I'm stupid. Remember how I just said life is tough? It's even tougher if you're stupid? Well, for God's sakes, I was pretty stupid today. Pretty damn stupid. As I sit here right now, my foot My foot is freaking killing me. It is killing me. And I'm going to the orthopedic surgeon on Tuesday, so I'm going back in the boot, and I'm going to use my crutches and my little boot scoot boogie machine and stay that way. Thank you, Due Diligence. Thank you, hallowed be thy name. Thank you, Hemi-Lou. I like that name, Hemi-Lou. Memer the Rememberer? I like it. Mimir the Rememberer. I'd like that. Nature nurtures. Yes, she does. Doesn't she? We're going to be talking about nature nurturing in the latter part of the show tonight. Girl Patriot, great to see you. And Scorch, thanks all of you guys for your support of this program. It is amazing. Okay. Yeah, walk it off, pussy. It's so funny you say that, Willie. Yeah, Willie, I want you to get a 10-pound starter and just kind of do that with your left shoulder, okay? Do that about 15 times. Let me know how that feels. You fucking pussy. Willie's a pussy. Oh, mammy. Yes. Toggle the stream. Why does it say toggle the stream? What does that mean? Why does it say toggle the stream on my Pilled Foxhole? Can you guys, if I'm coming to you live at Pilled Foxhole, would you please let me know, because I have no idea why it's telling me to toggle the stream. That's very strange. Very strange indeed. Very strange. All right. Okay. Let's get over to the fine people. The fine people over here at Pilled Foxhole. Yes, HOH. Good to see you. YouTube did not show up in my subscriptions tab. Had to search for it. They do that to me, especially like last week when I kind of went off on the elections a little bit. They used to really pump me up until you say something political. Don't do that. Do not click that button, Raid says. Do not click that. I didn't. And you know why I wouldn't, Raid? Because I don't know what the hell it does. Father Larry says we're good. Thank you, Father Larry. Raid, that's only if you have problems, okay? Well, I certainly have problems, but I don't think that button's going to fix it. I just don't. I don't think so. Girl Patriot, great to see you. Redneck Shark in the house. Willie the Pussy Fix-It is here. Great to see you. Good to have you aboard. Bender to no one. How are you doing, darling? Wonderful to have you aboard. Wonderful. Look at all these faces. Starface. Crazy Chuck with a K. I was going to call you today about the Jeep, Chuck. I still am. I still am going to call you. Thanks again to all the wonderful people over at Three Beer Men who just raided this joint. It is a pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you aboard over there. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so we are live. I have figured it out. We are live at the home of the champions at Pilled Foxhole. We are live at Contest Giveaway, which is better known as Rumble. We are live at YouTube, where we should be. That's fantastic. Erica Rommel, the Viking Pureblood. The Viking Pureblood. Mimir the Rememberer here. I don't know. I didn't know you were on YouTube. I subbed to you. Well, brother, I just turned you blue. Great to have you aboard. Great to have you with us. James Halloran, Olaf Alop, welcome aboard, my friends. What's that you say? Why did I call Willie a pussy? Well, I spent the night at Willie's house. His charming wife, lovely lady. And she let me in on a little secret that Willie, half the time, he wears her underwear. So, I'm sorry. I just got to call a spade a spade. When he can't find his, he wears hers. I hope Willie has a garage full of his friends over right now. That's what I'm hoping. Tonight, folks, is contest night. Yes, It's contest night, and let me tell you, contest night would only be possible without, it would not be possible without the incredible help of Mrs. Zoe. I want you to know something. Over the last 4 years that I have been broadcasting, absolutely incredible people. Incredible people. I mean, I could look around the room right here and point out 15, 20 things that were sent to me by people. In fact, allow me. Let's just do this, okay? This wonderful ship's bell came to me courtesy of one Rick Carmen. Do you see that fantastic ship's mirror, ship's window right there, porthole window? That was given to me by Val Hall. I love it. That means the world to me. Right there, right there. Empress bitch to you sent me this. Yes, sent me that. The fine people at Flip City Magazine sent Duska her most recent hat. Prayer Warrior Girl sent me that pillow. Bruce Q. Wayne has sent me a myriad of boxes that have the Batman symbol on. Willie Fixit and his wife sent me that wonderful ship up there. If you look at the back, it says, I love Haynes her way. Yes. Up there, way up there. Those bags came from the beer that Cosmic sent me at Christmas time. And keep going. This Harley Davidson hat, this wonderful ship's wheel. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But wait, there's more. See that hat up on top? That was given to me by a dear brother of mine, signed by Ted Nugent. It's a little dusty. It's a little dusty. Damn. I hate it when that happens. Sometimes when I get my camera and I wield it all about, it deactivates. I hate that. I was showing you all around the whole room. Anyway, my place is littered. It's littered with the wonderful things that people have sent me, and they mean the world to me. And there's so much more than that. From wonderful prayer devotionals to prayer beads to books to keep records of the people we pray for. You people have sent me so many wonderful, wonderful things. It touches my heart. It really does. It means the world to me. And in return, over the years, I have sent out all manner of goodies. And I'll be doing some again today. We have, thanks to Mrs. Zoe, she went through, this is really funny. We had carpet cleaners come this last week. And in order to get to the carpets, they had to go through a portion of the house that is known as my area. And there are cardboard boxes on top of cardboard boxes and stuff inside and bags and this and envelopes and photos and all kinds of incredible things that are all important keepsakes to me. Plus things that I amass during the course of a year, like, replacement lenses for the plastic cover. Like this phone looks like it's cracked, but it's really not cracked. It's just, I peel this off, I put a new one on. Mrs. Zoe went through that pile of shit today and found a treasure trove of goodies. And I mean, she found stuff I didn't know I had anymore. And that's why we're having a giveaway tonight. Yes. Now, before we get to the giveaway, I have to say a few things. Do you see this right here? Oh, come on. My camera's doing it again? Really? What the hell is going on around here? I didn't even touch the camera. Okay, one more time. what the actual WTF, okay? I'm not touching a freaking thing. God, it's fucking frustrating. So, get a hold of yourself. Taking it easy. I'm taking it easy. I don't need my glasses to read. You see this piece of paper right here? This is all the people that I owe shirts to. And there are, well, you can see at least 50. At least 50. And I've done my homework. If you look across the top, small, medium, large, extra large, XXL, 3X, 4X, and yes. These are all the names and addresses. Now, I've managed to scratch a few of these off, but some of these people, it's really embarrassing. Some of these people have been on this list for going on 2 years. That's why I am right now, I am back in the tie-dyeing business. And damn it, I am going to make this page disappear. I'm going to make this page disappear. Some of these names, holy canna. Lynn Winters, my God, she's been on this for, oh, it's embarrassing. CDP4JC, holy, I'm embarrassed to say his name. Oh my God, some of these people, I feel so badly. But they're going out. They're going out. And there's a handful more of you who aren't on this list, but yours are going out as well. So thanks, Mrs. Zoe, for keeping my shit together. And because she was so kind. Now, this clock and one just like it are already spoken for. That would be Syllabore and Purple Pixie. This bag right here belongs to Shelbs. It was won by Prairie Fire. Prairie Fire won this and gave it to Shelbs. This will be going out, so that's what we're looking at giving away tonight. Okay. Very fine, finely made American product. I can't possibly see Prairie Fire running around with a bag over her shoulder anyway. It just not befitting of a bicyclist. I just don't see it. So that one belongs to Shelbs. This right here, this beautiful 500th episode mug that you see right here, smashed to smithereens. What the fuck is going on with my camera? Seriously. Oh, boy. This beautifully smashed and broken 500th episode mug belongs to TL Spud, but I can't mail him this one. So I have to order a new one and send it to him. But I keep this as a reminder that the next time I have a little extra money in my pocket, I'm going to order it. And guess what? I just turned in my gold pills. So this coming Friday, all of this is happening. It's all happening. It's all happening at the zoo. I don't believe it. Oh, Lordy. So, as luck would have it, thanks to Mrs. Zoe cleaning up, I realized I have 2 of these bags. 2 extra bags. That's after having sent them out to everybody who won them. Yes, I have 2 of these bags, and that, my friends, that is what we're going to be giving away tonight. So, Spudley, never fear. Syllabore, don't worry. Shelby, don't worry. And all you people on the shirt list, don't worry. Zoe always comes through in the end. It might take me a year, but I'm telling you. I mean, it happens. It one day, when you least expect it, ask my dear buddy, he's right there in the chat, Matty F&B, okay? He asked me for a shirt. It was so long he completely forgot about it. And when I went to visit him this last time, he goes, dude, you wouldn't believe it. I got up one morning. I was having the shittiest morning. Things weren't going right. Just wasn't going my way. I was late for work. I go to leave, and my old lady says, "Hey, what's this in the mailbox for you?" And he opened it up, and there was his mystery ship shirt when he least expected. He even forgot it was coming. Matter of fact, I got to put him back on the list. He needs a new one. His is all, you can't even see the color anymore. Maddie, F and B. Yeah, that man needs a new shirt. All right, so that's what we're doing tonight, people. We are going to give away a couple of these. We're going to give away a couple of these if my camera will. What the hell? What is going on with my camera tonight? I don't understand it. It keeps deactivating. Holy crap. Oh, this could be a long night, people. Could be a long night. It's not going to be a long night. One thing that does work are my videos, and damn it, we're going to play one right now. We'll be back. We'll be back right after this. Some bitch. Some bitch.
This is Daily Insanity, and you are listening to The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude 77.
Hi, I am Deborah R., and you are watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
This is Droopy Doo, and you're on the Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude.
This is Captain Grams, and you are on the Mystery Ship with your captain, Zoso Dude 77.
Hello, this is Prayer Warrior Girl, and you're on the Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
Hi, this is Awakened Mom, and you are on board with The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
This is Matty F and B, and you're watching Zoso Dude on the Mystery Ship.
This is Rick Harmon. Welcome aboard the Mystery Ship.
I am Bitch Slap Satan, and you are watching Mystery Ship. What else?
This is Jayla17, and you're aboard the Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
You are live with Zoso and the Mystery Ship via Sloan TV.
This is John Otter.
And this is Q Magoo.
And we're watching the Zoso 77 Mystery Show. Oh, Mystery Ship!
You're watching Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude 77.
Greetings, sailors. This is Prairie Fire, and you are rocking on the Mystery Ship with our captain, Zoso Dude 77.
This is Rhett 66.
And this is 94 Winchester. You're on the Zozo Show.
On the Mystery Ship.
Alright, this is Sleeping Stars 91, also known as the Hot Dong Lady, and you are watching the Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude 77.
This is Special K, and you're with us on the Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude 77. And he's got
Hey sailors, it's TL Spud from beautiful Clark County, Washington, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
Of course, this is the Batman, your favorite mustache superhero. And I'm here to tell you that we are on the Mystery Ship with our good captain, Zoso Dude. God bless everybody. Peace out from Batman.
I got to remember to turn on my volume, and I got to keep an eye on the camera. Keep an eye on the camera, Zoe. Eye on the camera. The problem is I'm looking down here at your chats, and up here is my live feed. So, boy, we'll just do the best we can. Okay. Now, I am going to give these away. I have two of them. I have two of them for you to give away. Two of them. Okay. There it is. There is a number on your screen. There is a number on your screen, and I need to give the people at Foxhole the chance to win. So I'm going to be taking the 12th and 13th callers, okay? That means if you're on DLive or YouTube or Twitch or Rumble, you have about a 35-second advantage to win the first bag, okay? You have a 35-second advantage to win the first bag, but I want to make sure the second bag at least goes to Foxhole. Okay. There are indeed 2 of these, not counting Shelby's bag right here. There are 2 of these that I can give away. And damn it, they're going out. So I'm turning the phone on right now. The phone has been off. Go ahead and ring that number on your screen. If you are the 12th and the 13th call tonight, you will be the winner. You will be the winner. Welcome aboard the mystery ship, my friend. Who do we have on the line?
Foxhole's gay.
Hey, you made it. All right. Then I'm in luck. Foxhole's already. Then you guys have a chance of winning. You are caller number 1, so please call back. My money's on you. All right. Caller number 1. 12 and 13, baby. 12 and 13 gets you a beautiful mystery ship tote bag, just like this one. Just like this one. Willie boy, you are caller number 2. Number 2, baby, number 2. We're number 2. Okay. That's what the bag looks like. It's perfect for if you want to pretend you're the Pope. You ever go to Rome, you can pretend you're the Pope. Father Larry, you are caller number 3, baby.
Yes.
All right. Looking for 12.
Talk to you later.
Okay, buddy. Thanks. Okay, the phones are ringing. Don't I look like the Pope in my, what's that hat of his called? What's that hat the Pope wears? Looks like a fish. Looks like a fish. Hello, wireless caller. You are number 4 above the mystery, on board the mystery ship. Number 4, looking for 12 and 13. Okay, they're not wasting any time. They're calling back. They are calling right back. The phone, she is ringing off the hook, people. Daily Insanity, how are you doing? You are caller number 5.
That's it. I'm going to keep trying.
All right. Good luck, kiddo. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. We're up to 5. And here it is. Caller number 6 up on the mystery ship. We're looking for 12 and 13.
Hey. I told you not to walk on your leg, and you walked on your leg because you didn't want to fucking be girly in front of your nephew, grandson. That's great.
Are you using your left arm, Willie?
Walk off, pussy. That's all I got to say.
That is Willie. He is caller number 6. If I let go, we would never finish the show. If I didn't hang up, we'd never finish the show. Hello, caller number 7. Who might you be?
Pops from Madness.
Oh, very good. Well, you are number 7. I'm looking for 12 and 13. Ring it on back. Hit that read
I'll
off.
be back.
All right. Well, it's working. The phone is working. And here we go. Yet another incoming call. Another incoming call. Daily Insanity. You made it back to number 8.
Okay, I'll call back.
12 and 13. All right. There we go. There we go. 2. One of them is a virgin. I've never even touched it. It's just as they mailed it to me. Hello, caller number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Looking for 12 and 13. Yes. Well, the phone, she's not stopping. She's not stopping. Gloria Paddock, how are you doing, kiddo?
I am doing good. I'm high and dry and don't have to rip out any drywall or flooring.
Good for you. That is wonderful news. Wonderful news. You are caller number 10, my dear. Number 10.
All righty, so.
All right. Give it a hit, that redial.
Okie doke. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Well, we're closing in on it. We are closing in on it. Oh, this is the Bubble Girl. Girl Patriot, is that you?
It's Girl Patriot.
You are number 11. You are the calm before the storm. But listen, let me tell you something. I've seen people do this countless times. Just hang up and hit redial, and you could be 12 or 13. Good luck to you.
Boom. Wait for my voice.
Okay. All right. The next two are the winners. The next two callers are the winners. And here's one of them. Here's one of them now. Why, Father Larry, would that be you?
Yes.
Guess what, my man? Winner, chicken dinner. You are number 12. Number
Yay.
12. You finally nailed one, Patio.
Finally.
Good for you, buddy. I've got your address. I will get that off to you. I've got to get the 13th caller, the other winner. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, brother.
Congratulations for being a winner on the mystery ship. Well done.
Love you.
I love you too, man. Father Larry pulls it off at last. He tried hard, man. He tried hard last week to win one of those. Winner, chicken dinner. Is this Norma Williams from YouTube?
It is.
Yeah, guess what, darling? You are the winner. You are lucky number 13, Norma. That is fantastic. Fantastic.
It is wonderful. Thank you.
That is fantastic. I'm writing it down. Norma Williams, Father Larry. Congratulations to the two winners tonight. Way to go.
I've been wanting one.
Yeah, there you go, little lady. You did it. Well done. Well done. Way to be patient on the phone. Congratulations. Have a good one. Thank you so much for being a winner on the mystery ship.
Love you, though. Bye-bye.
I love you too. All right, I'm officially turning off the phone. The contest, she is over. The contest, she is over. Congratulations to the two winners. Yes, we've done it. Father Larry, Norma Williams, you will get your bags in the mail. And the rest of you people waiting so patiently, TL Spud and all those others, they're coming, baby. I promise, they're coming. Zoso always comes through in the end. I swear to God. I swear to God I do. I do. All right. We have got a wonderful program ahead of you. A beautiful walk through some nostalgic waters this evening. On the other side of this little bit of video right here. This is your, what do they call it? An intermission video? Yes. This is an intermission video. This would give you just enough time to run to the restroom, take the dog outside, run out back and not get caught smoking that cigarette by the old lady. Whatever it is you got to go do. You got 2 minutes and change to get it done, okay? We'll see you on the flip side of this right here. Thank you for being a sailor aboard the mystery ship. We'll be right back after this.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? 'Cause we never know where we'll go next.
I always like to take this moment to thank the wonderful people who come and sail aboard the mystery ship. Whether you just come out and hang out on the deck, or if you take it a step further and try to support this show in whatever way you can via, gold pills or lemons or the tremendous surprises I find from time to time in my Cash App and my PayPal. All of you, every one of you, mean the world to me. The single best way, the best way that you can help this show doesn't cost a penny. No, it doesn't, people. It's just taking a second to share this show with a friend. Tell somebody about it. Say there's this crazy biker dude. You ought to check him out. He rides all over the country and meets us. Sometimes he stays at our house and leaves his dirty underwear behind. This is a guy you need to meet. And that would be me, this guy right here. And I really want to thank all of you who take the time to share the link on your whatever means you use, whether it is, this guy right here, whether it's posting it to your Gab, your Getter, your Truth Social, your Facebook, it must be working. Because every time I sign on here, I see new faces. And I'm growing. My numbers are growing. I cannot say that they're not. It's blowing me away. Little tiny steps. One day you'll be able to say, I was in on the ground floor of that crazy sumbitch, and say it proudly. Because one day, folks, believe me, one day the shirts will dry up, and you'll be the only ones who have them. You know what I mean? I mean, they're close to drying up now. Folks, times are tougher than they have been, economically. When I first started this show 4 years ago during the Trump years, man, money was flowing. I had some extra bread here and there. And, I've done a couple of stupid things. I've overextended myself in a couple of ways. Good ways. I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, there's not a thing I would do differently than what I'm doing right now. I'm very, very happy in my life, and I'm very happy, even more happy, to share the insanity with you all. Going once a year around the country and dropping in and visiting you in all the different cities across the U.S. You have no idea what that does for me. What a shot in the arm that is. I was just earlier today sitting alongside my bed on my nightstand. I look over, and here is this incredible 1893 Morgan dollar given to me by Rhett 66 and Winchester 94, and it's those kind of keepsakes. Every time I pick that up, I'm going to think about, I can see their living room, I can see their kitchen table, sitting at their kitchen table with them, enjoying a adult beverage with them. It was wonderful. And I've got hundreds of stories like that. Hundreds of stories like that. Gloria Paddock treating me to dinner at her work. It was really funny. We snuck around the corner to a little picnic table where she brought like a picnic lunch for us. And then one of her fellow nurses ran outside and took a picture while neither one of us were looking, thinking to themselves, what the hell is Gloria doing with this biker dude? I'm sure that's what they were thinking. Is she out of her mind? Yes, I love all my sailors. All of them, from coast to coast, north to south, east to west. You guys are the best. You guys are the freaking best. Tonight, folks, I want to wax nostalgic. I really do. I really do. Tonight, this is really funny. About 2 months ago, our dear friend and brother, Frank, from the Quite Frankly program, did a show one night where they were talking about weed. And I thought to myself, damn it, I want to do a show on weed. So I started taking notes, and every time I would think of a little story, I would jot down my notes, and I've got my list right here. But the deciding factor tonight was listening to Three Beer Men and listening to Omazon talk a little bit about Twistin' Dubes. Now Omazon's got me by about 5 years. Actually, four and a half or whatever. He's about to turn 70, and I will soon be 66. So we're close enough to where we can probably find some common ground together. But it just reminded me. Let me flip these headphones around. His little chat there on Three Beer Men reminded me of the days gone by, and I said, damn it, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night where we are going to talk. We're going to talk about weed. Weed indeed. I don't know how many of you grew up with the they used to call them outlaw comics. In the late 1960s, guys like Robert Crumb, the Keep on Truckin' guy. Keep on Truckin'. Hang on a second. Hang on. Where is it? This guy right here. This guy right here. Now, of course, a friend of mine took liberties with this. A friend of mine took liberties with this photo and inserted my head on the R. Crumb, Keep on Truckin' body. But that was the original. That was the original artistry. I've been dying to make a shirt out of this. It's like there's 7 colors in here, so they told me it would be very expensive, but I'm going to do it. Damn it, I'm going to do a limited edition run of these shirts and give them away during my Saturday rock show. I'm going to have to just. They're ridiculous. I mean, they're going to be about $25 a piece. But you know what? I gave away limited edition Duska shirts, and I know those of you who have them. Jayla17 has one. Cosmic Grandpa has one. Let's see. There's a handful of you out there who have. Oh, of course, Norman Kitty. She's the voice of Duska. So, yeah. But I'm going to do a limited run. I'm going to do a limited run of those right there. I have to. So in the late 1960s, there were these comics. And one of my favorites were these 3 hippie guys, the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. And their whole mission in life was to get stoned. That's all they did. Hey, man, we're almost out of weed. What are we going to do? And they were comic books, and I think there was 13 or 14 of them. The very last 2 Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers comic books were in color, and it was a 2-part adventure where they went around the world. I don't know that he ever finished the episode. I think there was supposed to be a 3rd one where they came back home. I've never seen it. Maybe I'm wrong. Since that time, I understand that somebody has actually animated the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. But let me tell you, okay, back in the early 70s, I'm talking like 1973, when we were rolling dubes, that was the only kind of entertainment that you could get that discussed the smoking of marijuana. It was verboten. I'm telling you that I lived through the times, and this seems so strange to say right now. It seems so strange to say it right now. But for many, many, many years, I lived through the times where, man, if you had a half a lid in your glove compartment, I mean, you just shit your pants every time the cops pulled you over. It was, you went to jail for that shit. And if you had told me, I now live in Oregon. I live in Oregon. Now, when I was a kid in the early 70s and I started smoking pot for the first time, there was this whole thing about, dude, that Northern California weed, man, and that Oregon weed. Oh, man, if you can get weed from Oregon, it's got those red hairs on it. This is, seriously, this is taking me back, okay, because I grew up in northern San Diego County. That's where I lived when I first started surfing. We first started getting stoned, you know, twisting dubs, you know. Think Omazon was, now he's got me by 3 or 4. He said that when he first started smoking weed, you couldn't even buy zigzags. Thank God they at least had zigzags by the time I started smoking. But I will say this, the only ones you could get were the white ones with Boris on the cover. And when you opened up the inside of the rolling paper thing, you could send away for a Boris t-shirt. Anybody remember that? Boris, the zigzag guy? We used to surf in San Diego, and every now and then, one of the guys who was transplanted, I was transplanted to San Diego from Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, or, you know, good old Northridge. My buddy moved there from Manhattan Beach. And sometimes in the summers, for the weekend, we would go up to Manhattan Beach and stay at his grandmother's house. And because the surf in Manhattan was, oh my God, Manhattan, Hermosa, that whole area was just so, the Strand, it was so happening as compared to down in San Diego where we lived. We used to surf right by south of Oceanside. There was a giant marine base there, Camp Pendleton, and we would surf south of there. And it was always the same, man. Always the same. You roll up to your favorite surf spot, and 3 or 4, it sounds so cliche, but I swear to God, it's the freaking truth. 3 or 4 Volkswagen buses with 10 surfboards piled on top. That's really the way it was. I'm here to tell you, that's really the way that it was. I don't know what a surfboard and a Volkswagen bus, how they got together, but they are joined at the hip, those things. Okay. Now, in Manhattan Beach, they had the only, I'm talking 1973, okay? They had the only head shop I ever heard of. I couldn't believe it when we went in there. We walked in the door of this place, and everything in there pertained to the selling and using of illegal substances, but there were signs in the windows, signs on the glass countertops. These are tobacco pipes. These are tobacco products. Please state to the salesperson which one of these fine tobacco products you would like to purchase. I'm not kidding you. Oh my God. Oh, we may have to, hang on just a second. I may have to do this. I remember that. I remember that album, dude. Oh my goodness. Resonate just rang a bell with me. Oh my God, that's crazy. A Child's Garden of Grass pre-legalization comedy. Yes, we may have to spin a little few minutes of that. Thank you, Resonate. Thank you kindly. Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong came out with the album Big Bamboo, and inside of it was a giant rolling paper, okay? It was the size of the record album. It was meant to be a joke. You know, nobody could roll a doobie that big or this big around, but folks, I came from the days when good weed, really good weed. If you were lucky, it was Mexican brown. You know, it was half stems, half seeds, and what you did was you took your favorite record album and you crunched it all up and you shook it around and you picked out all the stems and then you rolled and rolled and rolled all the little seeds off and they were like into a shoebox and you saved the seeds. Oh my goodness, you saved the seeds. And you rolled doobies out of this. You could get, if you were lucky, you could get what we called a 4-finger lid. 4 fingers in a Ziploc baggie. 4 fingers for $10. That was a good deal. I remember guys bitching saying, "Oh, yeah, that guy's got smoke, man, but it's only 3.5 fingers." only 3.5 fingers. I'm flashing back, my friends. I'm flashing back, my friends, to the very first time that I personally ever bought pot. And it was probably one of the most embarrassing moments ever in my life. Seriously. I had just gotten into it. I'd smoked it 2-3 dozen times, but I'd never actually had my own. Okay. So I think it was my birthday, and I think I got $20, which $20 was a lot of money in 1973. Let me tell you, $20 was a pretty damn good birthday present right there. It'd be like $50 today, at least. Anyway, I went to this guy, and we called him. He was one of the surfer dudes, Nick the Zonk. Nick the Zonk. Nick always rolled these doobies, and he used yellow rolling papers, and he rolled the biggest damn doobies you ever saw. I don't know how he packed that much weed into those doobies, but I remember walking up to him, and he's standing there with 2 or 3 guys. Now, Nick's a couple of years older than me, and I'm trying to be cool and everything, but I'm just a complete dork. What do you know? I'm in a 9th grade dork. And I walk up to him, and I kind of saddle up next to him, got my elbows on the brick wall, and he's sitting on the brick wall next to me, and 2 or 3 other guys around us. I'm trying to be all cool and everything, right? I'm trying to be all cool. Like there's narcs behind every bush. And I'm like, I wasn't even looking at him. I was like, "Hey, Nick." He's like, "Yeah." He's looking right at me going, "Yeah. Dude, do you think you might be able to, I'm not even making eye contact with him. You might be able to get me a bag of some stuff. And one of the other guys, one of the older dudes, he face palmed himself. He goes, "Man, I don't believe I'm even seeing this," because I was just a complete dork. I mean, I was a short-haired, in the height of long-haired, kids. My old man made me have super short hair, and I just looked like a complete dork. That's why I have long hair to this day, because nobody can tell me to cut my freaking hair. Anyway, Nick sold me my first couple of doobs, and we went down to the beach and smoked them. But those VW vans, I swear to God, anytime you pulled up to the beach, if there was a VW van there with at least a couple of boards, I promise you, you could find those long-haired surfer dudes and probably get stoned with them. It was just what we did. And that little store in Manhattan Beach, I remember I'd never seen a water pipe before. We didn't call them bongs back then. We called them water pipes. And they were small, just a little brass tube with a wooden little thing that you'd sip on, and a bowl, wooden bowl. And, you're constantly having to clean the screens, constantly. But we bought a rolling machine. Now, I had never seen a rolling machine. And it was to me, it was the single coolest thing I had ever seen. I still remember the brand name. It was called an Esmeralda. Esmeralda. And the rolling papers were 6 inch. We rolled doobies this big. You put the weed in this thing and you turned it over and over and over, and it rolled it into this perfectly concise, pencil long, perfectly compacted thing, and then you shoved the paper in and you carefully rolled it, and then you licked it, and you lit your bomber, and we laughed. So I mean, oh my God, we thought we'd hung the moon with this rolling machine. It was unheard of. A rolling machine. Holy freaking cow. Going to bed. Love you, Dixie. Good night, my dear. Happy to have you come by the mystery ship for Zoe's. Yes, Olaf Face Up says weed was different back in the 70s. Yes, it was, my friend. Yes, it was. Now, I have to say this. It's on one of my notes here. It's absolutely on one of my notes. I have so many good notes here. The planting of weed, the planting seeds, all those seeds that we saved. Okay, my best friend, his mom was a wonderfully kind lady, one of the sweetest women you'd ever meet in your life. We all loved her to death. And she had indoor plants all throughout the house. It was very big in the early 70s. Plants. Oh, plants. You know, I talked to my plants. That's when that whole thing came out. Well, I took this bag of seeds and I went around to every single one of her plants with a Bic pen, and I took the cap and that, you know, that long little stem on the Bic pen cover. I poked holes in the dirt, and I put like 2 seeds in every one, and within a month, there were little pot plants all over my friend Kurt's house, everywhere. And his mom, now all of us, we thought this was the funniest thing that ever freaking happened. I mean, they were springing up everywhere. And Mrs. Barnes said, "Kurt, do you know anything about these? I don't know what." She brought her little potted plant out, and here's her rubber tree, okay, a little rubber tree, and then there's like 3 pot plants underneath those. And she goes, These little plants have started springing up in every one of my potted plants." I go, "Oh, Mrs." I'll never forget this. "Mrs. Barnes, those are good luck. Those are Hungarian ferns." And they are? This is way before the internet, okay? She had no way of looking up Hungarian ferns, and she wouldn't know what they were. Anyway, we took them all out, and we transplanted them out. Right behind where we lived was a giant, it was a Tangelo farm. And, you know, that guy had water going all the time. He had thousands of trees. So there's no way this guy could keep up on all the shit. And we just planted them all around the base of the trees, all over the place. Only about half of them actually made it. But, I mean, we're not talking killer smoke, but it was free. It was that, remember that Neil Young album, Homegrown? Homegrown's all right with me. Homegrown is the way it should be. Plant that pill and let it rain. That's what we did. Hungarian ferns. Hungarian ferns. So I'll never forget the time. Now, Mrs. Barnes was, I mean, she was a good-looking lady. You know, she's built, you know. She, a little bit spacey upstairs, but that's okay. She was, as I said, she was a wonderful woman. Good-looking lady. Mr. Barnes was sharp as a whip. I mean, this guy, sharp as a tack. This guy, you didn't get anything past him. So one day, he's not weed whacking, but back in those days, we didn't have weed whackers back then. Back in those days, you had something that looked like a golf club, and it had like teeth on. It was a handheld sigh, and you would just whack the weeds and cut them down that way. It was a lot easier and a lot lighter than the old-fashioned giant sigh that the farmers used to use. He's out there trimming his weeds, and he comes across about a 4-foot pot plant. And Mr. Barnes knew immediately who to go talk to. So he gathers up the four of us. We were surfers on the weekends. We played in a rock band together, my very first rock band. And we were on the football team and all that stuff. But we were the outer fringe of the average high school student, not your squeaky clean, pocket protector type. No, that wasn't us. Mr. Barnes said to us, "Boys, can you explain to me what this is?" And he led us right over to the pot plant. And man, I was shitting my pants, because if my freaking L7 dad found out that I was smoking pot, the shit would have hit the fan. Man, that guy he whipped out his belt and strapped you first and asked questions later. My dad would have killed me. He would have killed me if he knew that I was smoking pot. Mr. Barnes looks at us and he says, "Boys," I'm just waiting for it. He's going to go. He says, "I'm going to pretend that I didn't see this." All of us, we all look at each other like, what? He says, "There's some bad people out there." And he goes, "I could talk till I was blue in the face. I can't be around you every second of the day. I know I can't stop you from smoking this stuff. But I do know I'd rather have you growing it yourself than buying it from some of the shady people out there." It wasn't until years later that I realized that Mr. Barnes was probably helping himself to our pot plants. Okay. There was plenty for everybody. But, we would, in the morning, we would meet before school, and we would go pick a bunch of leaves, and we would, lay them in the sun to dry, and then we'd get home after school, and they'd be all dried up, and we would twist doobies out of this leafy green shit and get stoned. We didn't know about weed. Wasn't the weed of today, all right? It just wasn't. And I remember the very first time that I saw a High Times magazine. High Times magazine. It was actually, surprisingly, it was the same time I saw my first Easy Rider magazine. Same thing. Same guy had them both. And he had a subscription to it. So we're over this dude's house. We're rolling doobs. We're getting stoned. This guy was like 10, 12 years older than the rest of us. It was one of my friend's brother's buddies, older brother's buddies. And I'm looking at this High Times magazine, and they had a centerfold, just like Playboy. Okay, Playboy had a centerfold. Well, High Times magazine had a centerfold. But instead of, some curvy babe, it was the most beautiful color pictures of pot plants you had ever seen, and plants that had gone to bud. And so that's where I first learned about red hair. And that's what we called it in 1974, red hair. Dude, that guy's got red hair. It was totally different than the Mexican brown that we had been buying, the Acapulco Gold. Okay, this was green. It was green looking, and it had these crazy red hairs, and then there came, oh my God, purple hair. So I remember distinctly the first time. I remember the first time I ever saw it in person. And this guy, this total stoner guy, he shows up at my buddy's house. He goes, dude, I got some of that stuff, man. I got some of that high time stuff. I'm like, you do? That red hair? And he goes, no, man, this is better than red hair. This is San Simeon. I'm like, San Simeon? Is there a city in Northern California called San Simeon? What he was trying to say was, of course, sensimilla, which is Spanish for seedless, without seed. But this guy called it San Simeon. So we smoked some of that San Simeon, and by this time we had graduated to water pipes. And actually, my first bong, the first bong I ever saw, it was a little tiny plastic thing about that big, and metal tube and all that. But oh my God, I don't think I'd ever been that stoned. San Simeon. This is some of that San Simeon, man. To this day, when I could see that guy's face. He was just some stoner dude trying to save San Simeon. San Simeon. As I got older, and weed became more commonplace in my life, not just a hobby on the weekends, limited to the weekends and that. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say it at this point, but there was a time where, as a young man, my foot didn't leave my bed and touch the floor in the morning until I reached over and had a bong load. I mean, that the old wake and bake was very much a reality for me all throughout the 70s and early 80s. I mean, it's what we just got stoned. I mean, there was no way in hell me or my drummer, my bass player, one of us had weed. Guaranteed. The idea, the very thought of not having any weed was just was out of the question. Out of the question. And that's when we used to get into, by this time, head shops, like the one I had told you about in the early 70s. The only one I ever heard of was that one in Manhattan Beach. But by now, up and down the California coast, there were these places called Mind Your Head. It was a chain. And you could go in there and buy all manner of tobacco pipes. And the most beautiful ones were these like 4-foot tall glass. It was like a 2-inch tube that went down to a great big chamber and went down again to another great big chamber and went down to a beautiful glass base. And, oh man, we used to pour ice in there, like ice helped the smoke. But what was so great about them is because they were clear glass, you could, and they were so long, you could burn and burn and burn and burn and just wait till that smoke got right up to your mouth. Then you would exhale, and then you would hit the full volume of these giant bongs and just get stoned out of your freaking gourd. I mean, spinning. I remember getting so freaking stoned, I would just sit in a chair spinning backwards. It was crazy. It was crazy how this stuff just took over my life. It was nuts. And then getting busted with weed, holy crap. I am fortunate. I never personally got caught with weed. It always scared the crap out of me. I would hide it under my seats. I did get pulled over one time, and you guys remember in the 70s, cassette tapes? You used to be able to buy these long plastic cases, about 4 inches wide. Oh. This is a standard cassette tape, and so the case was about this wide and about that long, and it held like 30 of these. And the little plastic top that fit over the top of the case was perfect because, oh my God, it was perfect for shaking out your seeds and stems in the car. And I had like 3 cases of cassette tapes in these hard plastic cases. And, sometimes an errant stem or seed might get, instead of getting tossed out the window, it might end up down in between the cassettes. And I did get pulled over by a cop one night who went through my car. Oh, my God. This guy went tooth and nail through my car, and he found a stem and a seed in my cassette deck. I thought, this guy says, I can take you in right now. I can take you in right now for that illegal substance. When I think about how it is now, where I live in Oregon, and I get off the plane at my local airport, and when you get to the top of the gateway, there is a giant photograph lit up. There's an illuminated sign of the most beautiful purple hair with crystals, and it says, "Need weed? Go to this head shop." Or, we have head shops on every corner here. I don't know what it's like where you guys live, but there is weed stores all over the place. There's 20 of them right here where I live in this teeny tiny town. Weed is so prevalent. It is a part of our culture now. It is crazy to think that you could step off a plane. If my dad had lived long enough to see marijuana getting off his airplane and getting up to the top of the jetway and seeing a giant picture of marijuana, close up of some purple-haired buds, some of that there San Simeon, beautiful pictures of Sensimilla. I never, if you'd have told me that back in the day, I never would have believed it. I used to joke about, when I was 16, 17, 18, I used to joke that when I'm a big rock star, when I've made it, man, I'm playing the Forum, dude, I'm going to have a humidor, and I'm going to have weeds from around the world. I'm going to have some Thai stick over here, and Acapulco gold over there. And, I had it all figured out. It just seems so crazy now because it's legal most places. I don't know. Are there any states where you can't possess marijuana anymore? All I know is I lived through the times when you couldn't, and it was absolutely some of that danky, stanky shit, lighting it up. This is seriously one of the saddest things. A dear brother of mine, Big Ron was his name. Ron passed away a year ago today. A year ago this month. It seems seems hard. He's one of my Harley motorcycle riding buddies. We'd ride over to the coast together. He also was leader of one of the best bands around. Love this guy. He was like the big brother that I never had because I was the oldest. I was the oldest in my family. I broke the ground for my younger brother and my younger sister, but I never had a big brother. Ron, being 10 years older than me, he was like the big brother that I always wished I had. And this guy was a dope grower from back in the day, like back in the 70s, when you would go to jail for years if you got caught with weed, let alone growing it. This guy was the master. He would have a couple acres. He was selling weed and refining it, and he had, by the end of his career, just a mere year ago, this guy grew but he would have 15, 20 different strains. He had names for them. This is Blotter. This is Snowman. This is, he had all these different. It was amazing to see somebody so scientifically involved in the growing of weed. But this guy, he had a green thumb. This guy had a green butthole, okay? That's how green this guy was. So another very good friend of mine who doesn't live around here would contact me every year. We used to build buildings together years ago. And he'd say, one year he said, "Hey, I'm coming through your neighborhood. I'm going to be up in Oregon. Do you think you can hook me up?" And I'd say, "Abso-freaking-lutely." So I call up Big Ron. I said, "You got anything?" He goes, 15 or 20 to choose from?" I said, "Okay, let's go." So my buddy the guy who doesn't live here in Oregon would repeatedly 2-3 times a year, he would send me some money in the mail, and I would send him back whatever he needed. And because the Oregon stuff is, it's revered. It's good stuff. It really is. So I'll never forget last year, my buddy reaches out very early in the year, way before harvest season. Harvest season is always right now. End of September, early October for those outdoor growers. Now is the holy grail, okay? People are, right now, as we speak, outdoor growers are harvesting their crop. They're hanging them upside down and letting all the THC drip down to the whatever crazy things that they do, snipping and snipping and snipping. They're all doing it right now, those outdoor people. Indoor, they do it year-round. But outdoor guys, and my buddy was the king of the outdoor guys. So this friend of mine from out of town sends me money like in April and says, "Dude, you tell that hippie guy of yours, I want to be first in line this year. I want the cream of the crop. I want the best he's got. I've been getting it from him for 5 years now. Move me to the front of the line. Here's the money up front." So I met with him and I gave him the money and I said, "Hey, 6 months from now when things are going down, don't forget." He goes, "Don't you worry. I'll take care of it. He'll get the best I have." That's fantastic. Well, last year, right about this time, it was just about harvest time when I heard through the grapevine that the big guy wasn't around anymore. He had passed away. And I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed. I mean, this was somebody that I knew for years. A motorcycle friend, a bandmate, just a great, all-around, great dude. Gone. Just like hanging up the phone. He was gone. And then I stopped to think about my buddy and all that money I had given him. And one of the most difficult things I ever had to do was go to this guy's, widowed wife, this widower, and say, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry about your husband. Hey, by the way, my buddy gave. It was pretty embarrassing. It was really hard, man. It was really, horrible to have to go to this guy's wife. The body is still warm, and I have to tell her that, by the way, your dead husband owes my buddy, a significant amount of product. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Holy smokes. I can't believe I've spent this entire time talking about this, but I still have more stories. I got a couple more stories I've got to share. Okay, so one of my favorite times in the late 70s, early 80s, probably right around 1980 would be fair. I worked at a giant aircraft manufacturing plant in the San Fernando Valley. We made aircraft parts for all of the Boeing airplanes. We made anybody who's ever been in I can tell you this: you have probably, if you have flown on an airplane, you have probably been in a plane that had the parts that my company made. Those parts probably went through my hands because I ran the receiving dock, and we would make all the ribs, giant ribs for 737s and 747s, the big aluminum ribs that comprise the side. So this place would take hunks of aluminum, and with end mill lathes, we would shave aluminum, and then we would take it over to the deburring department, and we would clean them all up and make them smooth and shiny. Then they'd get painted and tested, and all really. We did a lot of government work. We worked on F-18s. We constantly had government guys, guys in uniform, military, always walking through, stamping and double testing and doing these fancy. We had these tanks that you would paint it with fluorescent stuff, and we would dip it in this black light tank so you could see if there was any fractures. It was crazy stuff we did. Very high-end military-grade stuff. But we were all stoner. And twice a day, all the machinists and all the millwrights and all that, we would have a break in the morning, and we would have lunch, and this place was it was a huge factory, just rows and rows and rows of end mill lathes, gigantic machines with 5-axis, cutters and crazy stuff. Really amazing product that we made and turned out. But I ran the receiving dock. I was the only guy in the whole place who had an office, and it wasn't much of an office. It was about an 8-foot by 10-foot little wooden shack just built in the a few feet from the large receiving door, and that's where I did my paperwork. This was long before computers. Everything was done by hand. Every single part that came in the factory, I had to initiate a book. And the book had inspection after pages and pages of inspections. And I was the very first inspection. I would take a sledgehammer, and number stamps, and I would stamp a number in these aluminum parts. And then I would create a book. And this book went around with this part. Every single part in the building had an inspection book that followed it. And I'm the guy who created the book. So by the end, when you would see that part in its finished state, that book was so greasy and grimy and covered in, fingerprints and from all the different. But I had a Pepsi can, and I hollowed out the corner, and I put a stem in it. I put a stem in my Pepsi can, and I siliconed around the outside, so it was essentially a bong, a mini bong, but to the naked eye, it looked like just a Pepsi can. So I could load up a bowl, and I would grab my Pepsi can, it looked a lot like this. It looked a lot like this right here. Imagine if this can right here had a stem sticking out of it and water in the bottom. But I would just take that stem and I would put it between my fingers and I'd just walk right through the plant just like this. Like nothing's going on. And I'd stop in at one of my end mill lathe buddies. And I go, here you go. I'd set it down and he would grab it, dip down for a second, snorkel my, and the thing is, all those end mill machines, every one of them is, smoke is rising throughout this whole complex, this entire factory. There's all kinds of smoke rising off the machines, so who can tell if there's a little marijuana smoke mixed in with it? We had this one guy. He was one of the lead inspectors, and this guy was one of those dudes with absolutely the perfect police mustache. Perfectly trimmed. I think this guy trimmed his mustache every day of the week. Absolutely. And his clothes were impeccable. I mean, crisp ironed seams. I swear to God, this man probably ironed his underwear, okay? That's how perfect this man's look was. And he was an inspector, and he was a tough inspector. Nothing ever got by him. The tiniest little fracture, the tiniest little crack, he would reject the part and send it back, throw it in the trash can, throw it in the dumpster. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. I used to keep my bong, my Pepsi bong, right behind the door to my office. And you'd open the door, the bong would go with the stem pointing that way in the corner, so that if you opened the door all the way, all it looked like was a Pepsi can in the corner of the room. Okay? One day, my buddy came in and helped himself without telling me, and when he set it down with the stem facing out. Unbeknownst to me, Mr. Squeaky Pants, Mr. Inspector, Mr. I iron my underwear, comes into my office and closes the door. And I'm sitting at my desk, and he goes, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you about these parts. And he goes to point out the window at the end mill there's a whole bunch of parts that had just been released on what was probably some questionable material. Aluminum that probably wouldn't have passed and shouldn't have even been stamped in the first place. And he looks down and he sees the Pepsi bong can. And I'll never forget it. I think I'm about to lose my job. This was a pretty good this was a high paying job for its day. Like, 4 times minimum wage. I thought I was in Fat City at this place, All my friends were making, $2.25 an hour, and I was making like $10. This was big time. And he looks down and he says, "How about that?" And he picks it up, and he's holding it just like this, and he goes, "A bong." And he put it right back down, and then he opened the door and hid it. And he turned around and continued his conversation as if nothing ever happened, as if he never saw. I was so blown away by how cool this guy was. I never looked at him the same way again. It was from that day going forward, he was actually a pretty cool dude. I mean, not cool enough for me to offer him a loaded bong, but a pretty cool dude. What is crazy is for the last 35 years, I now live in Oregon. I have lived in Oregon where we take weed seriously. Okay? We were one of the first states, not the first state. I think Colorado was the first state, but I think we were like second. I think Colorado went first in legalizing weed. And then I think the next year or 2 years later, like 3 more states joined in, and Oregon was one of them. Okay? So as screwed up as this state is, and believe me, it's screwed up, we were one of the first ones to legalize possession, at least. The possession was no longer a charge. You couldn't get popped for having weed. I don't even know what it is now. I think you were allowed to have up to 5 plants or something. I don't. Here's what's crazy, and that's what I was going to end the show. Is now that I live in a place where weed is prevalent, and I've got all manner of friends who grow the finest of the finest. I don't smoke it anymore. I have inside right now, I probably have got 5 or 6 bags of probably the finest smoke you would ever want to smoke, given to me by good friends of mine who were growers. And it's like, oh, here, dude, you helped me out by moving that. Here, take this. And it's just, it zonks me so bad anymore. I can't smoke it. I haven't avidly smoked pot in probably 15 years or 20. Probably longer than that. I don't even remember. It's just not, I don't have anything against it. I mean, if that's what tickles your fancy, man, I could send you some. All I'm saying is, waking and baking just isn't part of my life anymore. I seem to get far more accomplished during the day when I don't get stoned. For some reason, I still have my ambition and my drive. Instead of, wow, man, fucking stoned, dude. Wow. I don't know. Yeah. In fact, I'm flashing back to, I promised some people I would send them some, and I'm going to have to do that. It's so strange. It's so strange that me, of all people, Mr. Stoner, Mr. Stoner, doesn't even smoke pot anymore. I mean, part of it is my work. There is a chance that I could get drug tested. It's a very low chance because I am management, and I'm way too responsible. I have way too much responsibility. There's no way I could do. There's no way any human being could do my job stoned. You just. Well, I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but they couldn't do it to the exactness of which it needs to be performed. I mean, people's lives are on the line, giant cranes and all kinds of, I have to be on top of my game 100% of the time. Clarity is what I need. So, anyway. Well, there you have it. We made it through another episode. I even went over a little bit. Congratulations to our winners this evening. Our winners. Look at them. Look at those winners. Norma Williams, good for you. I will say that, Norma. It does make a great sleep aid, and you know what? I need to be honest because that's the kind of guy I am. There are times when I'm having trouble sleeping, and you know what? If I just get up in the middle of the night and I take a little toke, boy, it puts me to sleep like a baby. That's what it does to me now. It puts me to sleep. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. Man. Wow. All right, we're going to get out of here. Let me release the scratchin'. The scratchin' is hereby coming your way. I want to thank the wonderful people who donated to the show tonight. God bless you all. Oh, dear, you have allowed yourself to get old, Zozo. Check your text messages when you sign off, bro. Yeah, both my phones are, they're turned off right now. All right, let's look over here. Holy smokes. Holy guacamole. We have got to put a little something in that treasure chest. Holy Hannah. You people went berserk over there tonight. Okay. Here comes the treasure chest, distributing thusly. There are 800 some odd lemons coming your way right now, people. I wish you the best of luck. Go and win yourself a little something. Go and win yourself a little something. And I just want to cap this off by saying, folks, I don't have anything at all against getting stoned. I mean, for God's sakes, it was part of my makeup. You wouldn't believe the things that I have done with weed. Baked them in brownies and you name it, I've done it. And I still enjoy a nice little mushroom ride from every now and then. That I do enjoy. It's just that weed has become so powerful. You wave the bag in front of my face and I'm stoned. So I don't have anything against weed smokers. God bless you. God bless you. I wish I was in a position to do that. If I was like independently wealthy and didn't have any responsibility and all I had to do was exist during the day, like I didn't have a job and I didn't have, bills to pay and didn't have to worry about anything. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would probably end up being the biggest stoner you ever saw. And that's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. But just at this point in my life, at least for the next couple of years, I got to hold it together. I got to hold it together. Otherwise, I'll never get these shirts out, okay? And that's the truth. All right, congratulations to our winners over here. Bad Zoot, way to go, baby. Nice haul. Yeah, baby. Peggy Dancer, T.L. Spud, Willie Fix-It, Lynn Winters. Congratulations, you guys. That is fantastic. Good for you. Good for all of you. All right. Zoe is going to sneak on out of here. Turn that down. Go to here. There we go. There we go. Okay. It's time to put the boogie on. Time to put the boogie on. Right here. I've got what I need right there. Oh, yes. You heard it. You heard it. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. I hope you all have a great week. Have a great week ahead. Stay out of trouble. That's all that's all I can say. Stay out of trouble. I wish you the finest week ahead, sailors. I love you lots. Take care, my friends. Be good to your fellow man. All right, I got to stop that song just to say my thank yous. Thank you to the mods. Thank you so much to the people who support this program in whatever way you do. Doodah man, gifted they can. Hold it together, Captain. Good night, much love. Thank you, everybody. The lemons and the gold pills, they poured in tonight. Thank you guys so very much. God bless each and every one of you for your support. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's get this song finished.